grass-fed and grass-finished. Very important to me. So
yeah. How many ribeyes do you get every month?
I was getting 35.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 150 of the SuperSetYourLife.com podcast. Wendy Eddy, Coach Mark, and I are going to go over Wendy's results since episode 120 a couple months ago, now in the best shape of her life at the young age of 59. Although extremely athletic and well-conditioned, we're taking a solid year to fill out those muscle bellies as much as possible with the goal of building a winning physique for the category of women's physique. Building a quality physique, as you know, requires years of specific hypertrophy training and a healthy, sustainable approach to nutrition. Planning out your athletic goals always looks exciting on paper or on the computer or on an Excel spreadsheet. However, there's this thing called life that throws unexpected challenges at us. Sometimes Wendy is fighting for the next PR. Sometimes she's fighting for her health. Regardless, she is highly respected and valued as a superset athlete among the whole team. The faith and courage that she shows daily demonstrates her dedication to her weight training, feeding her body properly no matter what obstacles she's facing at the time. And she's an example to Mark and me in the way that when we aren't really feeling it mid-workout, she simply takes away all excuses because we know that she's in the grind no matter what's going on in her life at the time. It's my sincere pleasure and honor to welcome back Wendy and Mark. Shall we pray, guys?
Yes.
Let's go.
All right. Heavenly Father, Master of the universe, your apostle Paul wrote to the church in Corinth at the tail end of his last letter, "Finally, brothers, rejoice, be restored, be encouraged, be of the same mind, be at peace, and the God of love and peace will be with you. Therefore, God, as long as we're unified in an effort to share the true source of peace, we solicit your presence during this conversation that we may experience your peace, restoration, and encouragement. Amen."
Amen.
Cool. Wendy, so have your legs recovered since our workout at Coffee Shop?
Barely. You put me through that one, Colt. That was a great workout, though. That was an awesome gym. It was so fun. So yeah, it's I think so. I'm walking, so that's a good thing.
Good. What was your favorite exercise we did there?
I gotta say the one where I laid down completely and pushed up with my legs. I don't remember what that one was called.
The vertical leg press. Do you guys have vertical leg presses in Ireland, pal?
Yeah, loads of them.
Oh yeah, I know it's more popular over there, but you don't see those a lot over here. Mostly for fun.
No, I don't have one, but yeah. So yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah, cool. So I'm under the impression now that you have, I'm aware now that you are suffering a bicep injury. We go into a little bit more into that and what that's been feeling like this last week.
Yeah, it's been kind of going on off and on, but it's came back with a vengeance for some reason. I'm not really sure why, because I haven't really been pushing it as we did a recovery plan. So now, distal bicep tendinitis is what they're calling it. And, but it's a lot better. I've been doing icing and heat and just laying off of it, hoping that it's going to clear up. So I would say in a few weeks, I should be good. And just adjusting my diet some more, as we've already talked about, just trying to hammer out any inflammation things, just get rid of all inflammatories, pick up the beef, and I'm good. And
you think it's nutrition, Wendy, or do you think it's what you're doing in the gym?
I think it could be nutrition now because I haven't really been doing anything different in the gym that should aggravate it.
Okay.
I try not to do super heavy weights because I know that's just gonna aggravate me. Yeah, it's hard to say, Mark. I mean, that's what I would appreciate your thoughts on that too, because it's like I was going along and now all of a sudden things acted up. And like we're just talking about maybe like doing whey protein with the dairy factor is giving me inflammation. That's the only thing I can.
Yeah, I'm thinking the same. Like if you are having any dairy, I would say pretty much remove it. Pretty much straight. But I would also say that be careful, like if you're doing an exercise, be careful if you're going like pure lockout. So like a chest press and you're going all the way up to the very, very top and you're locking out the very, very top, that can put a lot of stress on your elbow. If you're doing a bicep curl, if you go all the way down and straighten your arm too much, that can actually put an awful lot of pressure on your elbow. If you're doing a tricep push down, if you're pushing it down all the way and you're not focusing on the muscle, you're just focused on pushing the weight down, that can put an awful lot of stress on your joints. So I would say, because I don't actually know what you're doing on a day-to-day basis, it could be a mixture of both.
Yeah. I'm very careful about not locking out. I think Colt saw I'm pretty good about not doing that on knees or elbows. I try, I work really hard at not locking out on that stuff. I think it's just because I injured it in December and just, I don't know, I'm not getting the vitamin D maybe.
Yeah.
What was the diagnosis? Was it distal bicep tendinitis at the time too? Yeah, same injury.
I never went in before. I was stubborn, as you know. I'm stubborn. I just thought it would go away. I thought I could make it better, but like I said, it just came back with a vengeance. And it's got to be the whey protein. That's the only thing I can figure. And so I said I'm on the fence with butter also. That's why ghee and tallow are a good thing.
Yeah, I think the more you talk, I think the more it is dairy. Because I just think as we get older, I think about 99% of people pretty much remove dairy out of their diet.
Yeah.
Because I know for me, when I was younger, I could eat dairy, no problem. But as I got into my 30s, my late 40s, I was like, no, dairy has to go.
Yeah.
So I think the same as with you. I think the minute you remove dairy, your inflammation will go down. You'll feel like you're stronger. Your workouts will feel better. You'll be pain-free, which is a good sign. So it could be an awful lot of inflammation at the moment. So the best thing to do is just test it and trial and see what happens.
Yeah, thank you. That's what I'm doing, definitely. So definitely worth a try, because I want to get back in the gym and start hitting it again. Because being a one-arm bandit, I'll be like ginormous on this side and small on this side. Not really, but women can't get big unless we're doing something that we shouldn't be doing, right?
Nope, that's right.
Want to make it clear that her shirt does say natural on it.
It does, yes, natural.
We're gonna keep it that way. So distal bicep tendinitis is it's an inflammation of the tendon area that connects the biceps muscle to the radius bone at the elbow. Many cases of distal biceps tendinitis are the result of overuse during sports or due to occupational needs. We weren't overtraining or anything around that time, were we, Wendy?
That was on me. We talked about that before. I was always adding on a few extra things every single workout. And
yeah, it was also my fault for just writing way too much volume for you to do anyway. I got to remember that not everybody's my age. So
yeah.
But how do you think the changes have gone from what you used to do before to what we've had, the last conversation we had? Yeah,
really great. Because Colt's like, hey, what would you think about working out less days? I'm like, yes, the weather's getting nice. So we're doing four strong workout days and 3 recovery days. So, and then I can do whatever I want, not cardio, walking, kayaking, paddleboarding, whatever is going to come up this summer. So I'm very excited about that, as Colt knows.
Oh, yeah.
Do you feel the benefits?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, everything was going along great again until I was kind of getting some whey protein in my diet. So now it's kind of stepping back again, but this is how we learn, right? We keep trying things and fine tuning it.
Yeah. What about butter? And I know that letting those keto bricks was hard to do. And the only other option is, aside from whey protein, is pea protein, but that doesn't agree for you either. But I do certainly appreciate you very nicely giving me those couple, what was it? Milk and cookies and a nootropic bar, my 2 favorite flavors. So God bless you. Thank you again for that.
Yeah, there was chocolate malt. Was it chocolate malt? Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, it was chocolate malt. That's right. Because that's right after I cut caffeine, and I think that little bit of caffeine that was in it was kind of like keeping me from losing my sanity.
Yeah. And I was like, oh, this chocolate's making my face break out. When all along it could have been the whey protein.
Yeah. Not really sure.
I think Mark
either way, you just do better with straight up beef, huh?
Yeah.
Because I think then when you look at the keto brick, like I'm taking at the moment, I'm on cacao butter, and it's different to like normal butter, like Kerrygold and stuff like that. I don't know what the difference is, but since I've changed my type from normal butter to cacao, it's actually digests very, very well. And if anything, it's actually improved my skin immensely.
Yeah, that's super cool.
It's a good way of getting fats into your body as well, because I was always struggling to get fats in because I was only pretty much eating meat. That's it. And so I needed something, and I was getting fed. I found that like I was getting a lot of heartburn from coconut oil, and I think olive oil. And I think because these were a lot like plant based. I think this is the reason why they weren't agree with me. So I took them out completely, and I said, right, I need to find an alternative. So what do I need to do? So I looked at avocado oil. That wasn't a great me either. So I remember Robert Sykes talking about his keto brick, and he was telling me that most of the ingredients that's in that keto brick is all from cacao butter. So I done a bit of research. I said, right, I'll go out and look and see what's out there and see what if it can actually help me going forward. And as I said, I haven't had any digestive issues at all. So I think it's something you should look at. I should definitely look at, because I 100% don't think it's the cacao butter. I think it's dairy 100%.
Yeah. You know, you can buy those in little wafers. I had those all the time. I was snacking on them, little cacao wafers. Those are so good.
Yeah, beautiful.
You don't eat too many.
Yeah.
Yeah, awesome.
I'm the same when we're talking, like me and Colt are talking. I'll be there like chewing on like some cacao butter. It's just beautiful.
Yeah, like every time we record Carnivore Coach's Corner, we hear this. And then as soon as we hit recording, he's done.
Yeah, we couldn't see any of you guys the other day, so who knows what you were doing. You were just probably eating big steaks and everything.
Oh yeah, I was stuffing my face. No one could tell. Question for you guys on dairy though. Butter, is that something you would usually consider dairy? Because I know a lot of people that are lactose intolerant, but they do very, very well with butter. There's also no carbs in butter. That's probably why.
I don't know, but like I just think that I just know that if I eat normal butter, I don't know what the difference is. I'll have to like talk to Robert Sykes or do the research a little bit more. But if I have normal butter and it's pretty much made out of cow's milk, and that will literally destroy me. I will eat that and I will be in bits for probably about 10 days. The inflammation in my body, it'll probably take about 10 days for moving. I'll be in pain. I'll get sharp pains. I'll get headaches. It just won't feel good at all. Since taking that out and since taking dairy out completely, no milk, no cheese, no whey protein, no butter, and just changed it to cacao, I feel great. My energy is through the roof. I can get my fats in very, very easy because I can pretty much cook with the butter. I can eat it raw. It's very, very easy on the go. Like today, for example, we did a 2-hour drive up to this hotel. And all I did was I said, right, I'm going to keep my proteins level. So, and then I just put a lot of cacao butter into a tub and I was just chewing it on the way up.
That's fabulous. Yeah, I think that's probably something I need to do because I'd already mentioned that too. If I eat butter, I can kind of feel it in my hands, my feet, like immediately almost. So it's very interesting. I guess some people just can't have any.
Exactly. Yeah. Because when you hear the two names like cacao butter and butter, you assume that the two of them are the same because they're butter. But I don't know what it is. It's just that like cacao butter just it's absolutely perfect for me. I don't feel bloated. I don't feel gassy. But if I put a small drop of butter on my tongue and swallow it, I can assure you in 2 days, the next 2 days are not going to be good for me.
Wow.
That's interesting. Do you do ghee butter at all? Or you don't even do the ghee?
Yeah, I've tried it, and I've tried tallow as well. I don't like the taste of it. Just not for me. I think it's too dry. It's not for me. I like a taste. I like something that tastes really nice. Because I love to taste the raw butter. I love smelling it and I love tasting it.
Right.
And the closest thing to that is what I have now, cacao butter. Like I have a few here now. I have a few here now. I just finished them. I don't know if you can see them there.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like that.
Yum.
Yeah, that's what I have. They are good. Very good.
Then what I do is to make them even tastier, I'll just sprinkle some salt on them. That's it. Done. Tastes amazing.
Has your package arrived yet, pal, with your salt that I sent you?
Not yet, no.
That was like 3 weeks ago I sent that thing. Man, it takes forever to get.
No, I thought I would have got it this week, but maybe next week.
Yeah. Okay.
And this is what I've been. Remember, we were talking about snacks during the week, Colt. This is what I usually bring with me. So I usually just bring
That's just sardines.
Sardines, simple.
Yeah.
So I brought 4 of them with me today. I finished 2. These are gonna be my breakfast now, first thing tomorrow morning.
Nice. No
So
offense. No offense to sardines, but I like the way the keto brick tastes 10 times better, pal.
Oh yeah, I can imagine. I would love to have a keto. Honestly, I miss.
I should have sent you one and just with a note that said, "Get over it. Just eat one and deal with the inflammation for a day or two, pal. Come on."
Because I do watch people eating them and then melting them up. I saw Taylor melt them up for your kids there the other day, and I was like, oh my god, they look delicious.
Oh yeah, we call them chocolate in our house. Whenever the kids start saying chocolate, it means keto brick. Yeah,
I'm gonna miss them. Being on them for these last few weeks has been like yummy, and I didn't crave like any sweets because I'm like Colt. I'm a serious sweet tooth eliminator, so that's why it's like I got to do all or nothing. And it gets me. So
yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, Wendy, I would rather go on a daily basis feeling amazing than feeling complete rubbish. Like for the last like couple of months working with Colt, I feel on top of the world. I feel great. I've had so much energy. Just everything in general just feels really good. And I'm not gonna change anything. Why would I change anything? Everything's working really, really well for me. I look good. I feel good. So, I mean, at the end of the day, it's about feeling good. At the end of the day, if I wake up every day with a smile on my face and I have a smile on my face when I go to bed, it's a win-win for me.
For sure. Yeah, Colt and I have been going since September, kind of alternating things and trying things, and I kept saying I'm just going to go all beef. I'm going to go all beef. So we're finally there. It was just kind of a trial period. I just wanted to see. Both of us wanted to see what would work and what wouldn't work. So I think we're finally getting it.
So yeah, so basically you and I are both, I mean, all 3 of us are eating nothing but beef and then like a couple other things here and there, but pretty much exclusively beef. And I didn't really want to write your workout or your meal plan that way, Wendy, because I just felt like I'd be a bad coach if I just gave somebody a meal plan that had nothing but beef on it. You know, that was just like something inside of me that was just like, boy, I mean, I see the science behind it, but I mean, I want to make sure all my clients are getting their money's worth. And now over half of them are eating like pretty much exclusively beef, and they're getting better results than they were before.
Yeah.
So I owe you a big thank you and a hug.
Yeah. Right back at you. And Mark too.
Yeah. On the fat sources though, I'm with you guys though. If I have butter, I'm usually weighted down after that, and so I find it to be a great dinner. But I would, you guys know me. I never work out with food in my stomach at all, let alone with something that's dairy. But I've been having butter late at night with the rest of my meats, and then having a keto brick earlier in the day. Because if I have the keto brick, I find it to be great cognitive power, and so then that's a great time to pound out workout plans on the computer, video editing, stuff like that, more creative work. And then I don't know. I feel like when I have a meal that has meat in it, it kind of means the day is half over.
Yeah.
So yeah. Question for you, Mark, on Wendy's bicep training. So I just kind of want to know how hard we can push her. She's making such good progress. I don't want her to get hurt. But would you think that compound moves are relatively overall fairly safe? Wendy, how do you feel when you're doing pull downs and when you're doing rows and exercises where you're using your biceps but you're not directly isolating it and putting all that strain on those tendons?
Well, everything was going really great just up until the last couple of weeks. When we did that video, I was feeling it because it's definitely these moves. But
wow, so there's evidence on YouTube, everybody. Go watch our last video with Wendy doing bicep curls. You can see it tear in half right there. Bam.
Yeah. Yeah. But otherwise it's been fine. Like I said, it's just been the last couple of weeks and I'm like, okay, I better go get this checked out. It's starting to come back with a vengeance. But I just think it's inflammation. So just by staying away from dairy, I have a feeling, I predict, and I think Mark will probably attest to this, that I'm sure by next week, it's probably going to be a whole lot better.
Yeah, and to answer your question, Colt, I wouldn't change a thing. I would keep the training the way it is. Because
okay.
I think
hey Mark, sorry, one more thing is she's doing all excuse me, it's your left arm or your right arm that's hurt? Left arm. Okay, so she's doing all right arm only right now. And that is from what I understand, and from my experience, will signal growth into the other bicep as well, and her physical therapist agreed. So that's kind of what she's been doing there, and no direct work on the bad bicep as of yet, knowing that if we do create any muscle imbalances, we can clean that up a month or two later. Who cares?
Yeah. And so once the body repairs quickly, then it shouldn't take too long for the opposite arm to catch up.
Right. That's the plan.
Yeah.
Cool.
And I say also, when you do get the green light, just make sure you're not changing anything. So don't think that, okay, my left arm hasn't done so much in weeks and weeks and weeks, so I'll just do high reps. Don't change anything. Go into the gym, just hit the muscle hard. The muscle will grow back very quickly.
Okay. Less weight on my left arm than my right arm, or do the same?
No, I when it comes to bicep training, I'm a big fan of doing unilateral exercises, but pretty much just doing one exercise at a time. The reason for that is because when we think about it, like for me, I'm right-sided. So I'm right-sided on my hands, I'm right-sided on my foot. So if I hold a bar in my hands, if I'm doing a bicep curl, in my mind, I'm lifting that bar with my right side. So I know when I'm doing this, I'm putting more effort into my right side because that's my strongest hand. Now, if I want to make sure my opposite side is getting the same amount of work, all I need to do is just do one arm like this and one arm like this. So if I can match the same number on each side and increase the rep on each side and increase the weight on each side, then both muscles will equally grow just as fast. But if you're doing this both sides, then you will have an imbalance in the way your muscles look. So you might see a bigger bicep on the right side, and you might have a smaller bicep on the left hand side. The quickest way to fix that is just do one muscle at a time. Same when you're doing legs. I'm a big fan of doing like leg extensions, one leg at a time. If I'm lacking in like leg curls, I'm seeing like one part of my leg is fairly small and the other side is fairly big. I'll do more volume on my bad leg, and I'll keep the volume the way it is on the other side, because I know that other side has been looked after. Whereas the other side, I know I can probably get away with another 2 or 3 sets just to get that volume up.
Perfect. Yeah.
Thanks for that, Mark. 100% agree. Your biceps will also never look exactly the same, no matter how hard you try it too, though. Just keep that in mind. I got a bigger peak, but a thicker arm. And I don't know if that'll ever change. I've tried to fix it over and over. I got one lat that's a little bit longer than the other one, and they just tie in differently. What can you do there? Nothing. You're toast. You twist your waist when you do a back pose. That's how you fix it.
Yeah. And that's like me dislocating my shoulder back when I was 14 years old. That definitely affects how I lift, how I do things.
Yeah.
Because like I always wants to go way up in the air. So.
Hey everyone, Coach Taylor Milton here. Welcome to Skullbellz TV, the official YouTube channel of supersetyourlife.com, where you're going to discover a weekly upload of quick and easy to follow workout tutorials featuring Coach Colt, myself, or one of our athletes to keep your workouts fun, practical, and effective. Our family's latest keto carnivore recipes that fuel Colt's competitions and keep myself and our kiddos strong and healthy. Video uploads of the supersetyourlife.com podcast, now over 100 episodes. Your weekly dose of entertainment, education, and inspiration to fuel your life inside and beyond the gym, and much more. Last thing before we get into the video, we're asking a big favor from you. This has been working beautifully, so if you would please think of someone you care about that would benefit from this video, go ahead and smash that like button, click the share button, and text this video to them. That would mean the world to us. And while you're at it, make sure you hit the subscribe button so you don't miss more exciting content from Skullbellz TV, because our team has lots of meat and lots of muscle coming your way, and I promise you won't want to miss it. When you hit the subscribe button, you'll see a bell icon pop up. You want to click that too so you're notified every time we release a new video. Thank you so much for the support. It means the world to us. Every like, share, and subscription helps our channel grow and supports our family's hard work. So thank you so much for doing your part too. That's all we ask. God bless you, and please enjoy this video.
On your, well, I guess on your diet and on your macros, then let's just go ahead and swap that first meal for. See, here again, I just feel like a bad coach, but like you're totally cool with just eating nothing but ribeye and ground beef and butter and tallow, huh? Oh, I don't know if I told you, but butter does have a little bit lower of a fat content. 24 grams, I believe, to the 28 grams. Let me double check compared to tallow. Yeah, so in 28 in 28 grams of tallow, you're gonna get 28 grams of fat. Makes sense, right? That's just simple math, because that's all it is fat. Butter, you got 28 grams, which will give you 24, because there's a 24 grams of fat because there's a little bit of moisture in it. So it's kind of splitting hairs. It really doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter, but just kind of keep that in mind. And if as long as you pick one and stick with it, you're pretty good. So are you doing butter or tallow right now?
Just do tallow. Yeah, I'm gonna axe butter for a while and see. It's worth the shot. I already kind of said that I cut way back, and I just do every once in a while I'll do some, but then I'm like, now my hands and feet hurt. It's weird. And I probably have more symptoms like Mark, but I'm just not really connecting them, So probably my bicep too.
The best thing to do, Wendy, is just write stuff down.
Yeah.
Write stuff down. Every time you eat a food, like, how do you feel about 3 or 4 hours after that food? So let's say you're just eating, like, say, a ribeye, and you've had that every day, and you know that no issues with that going forward. And then you add in a different food, like, say, tallow or butter, and the next day you feel really rubbish. Well, then you know exactly what that was.
Yeah.
And then it's just go ahead, talking.
Oh, I was just say that makes total sense for sure.
Yeah.
I need to start writing down. It's just all these years I've had so many issues with food, and I've cut out so many things. I was like, I can't keep writing all this stuff down, but I'm willing to do it again for sure.
And it's much easier, isn't it? It's much easier to know that I've only got, say, 4 foods to choose from, instead of like 12 or 15. I only know those 4 foods. If I stick to those 4 foods, then I'm pretty much good. If I add in anything else, it's just basically a trial and error kind of thing.
Yeah. Mark, what was I just going to ask you? Do you do eggs, egg yolks?
The funny thing about eggs is I've only tried this now in the last couple of weeks, because when I met Colt at first, I couldn't eat one yolk, not one. It was just dry in my stomach. And since I've started with Colt, I've completely just went carnivore. Completely. I pretty much took out the avocados and just went completely carnivore, and I've noticed a massive difference in my gut. So I was listening to a podcast there the other day, and I heard basically this woman had reversed her dairy, her allergies when it comes to eggs, because we're not carnivore. And I was doing this for at least 2 months. So I said, I'll try it. I'll just try one egg, because in the past I would have tried one egg and I would have had headaches for days. I tried an egg there on Monday, and I was very, very nervous about putting it in, because I wasn't in the mood for having headaches for days. But anyway, I put it in, and nothing came, no problems at all. I was like, okay, this is. And did I buy the right egg? Was it pasteurized? Was it organic? And I looked at it and I was like, no, it's just a normal egg. So the next morning I said, right, okay, that's one egg. Now with my bacon, let's try 3 eggs. Let's see what happens. No problems. Then I had another 3 eggs that day with my ribeye for my last meal. No problems. So I was shocked, absolutely shocked. Now, if you had asked me back in, let's say around October time, I can tell you now, they never got me on a full egg. I would have egg whites literally nonstop. But now my body can customize now to egg yolks for some reason. I don't know whether it's just magic or whatever. It's just amazing. I can actually add in a different food now. And it's all down to trial and error, because it was just basically just trying it 1. Then I did 3. And now I'm pretty much eating 6 a day.
That's great. Wow.
Brilliant.
And then do you cook them? So you cook them, fry them?
Yeah, no, I leave it a little bit soft. And that's just the way I like them. But I don't have any issues. Honestly, no, I don't have any gas, no bloating. I'm not heavy. I'm not lethargic. And again, all it was just a trial and error. I didn't just put it in because I was hungry. I put it in just to test it and see, can I absorb another food? And I'll be honest with you, I'll give it another few months, probably around maybe August, September, and I'll actually try dairy and let's see what happens.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll stay tuned for that.
I'll give it a go. I'll probably test something like simple, like cheese, something simple. And let's just see what happens. And I'll be amazed if I can basically overcome that, because for years I could never eat dairy. Never. It was breaking out my skin. My digestion was all over the place. I wasn't feeling good at all. So I believe that carnivore can fix certain areas in your gut, because it's already proven with me already.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Good stuff. You got to try this, bro. And Wendy, you too, if you're wanting to try eggs. So I haven't had eggs for quite some time, since going all beef and keto bricks, and don't really particularly miss them. But something I was doing with egg yolks, because what I was doing for a while, this is like half the reason I don't eat eggs anymore, is because it was just too time consuming. But I would separate all the yolks from the whites, because the yolks were perfect for my macros, right? And that's where most of the nutrients are. And then I was making casseroles for my dog with a little bit of the ground beef in it, and so that way I wasn't wasting anything, right? And then with the yolks, I blended them all up together and just put a little bit of heavy cream on it. Put it in a saucepan, and this was like a dozen yolks and a little bit of heavy cream, blended it all up, put some salt in there, and then put it on a cold pan, and then just turned it to high. And then after probably about 5 minutes, I had the most authentic carnivore version of a tortilla that I could have possibly made, and it was great. And just loaded it up with beef.
Nice.
Yeah, I did try that, Colt, because you said that to me, but I just used the egg yolks only. I didn't put anything else, and it was, yeah. So I had that, like, these nice little egg tortillas.
Yeah, and it doesn't take a lot of cream. I mean, probably just whatever you could fit in a shot glass. I don't know, like an ounce or two, and it really fluffed them all up quite a bit. So to finish up on Wendy's meal plan, I have your first meal of, I'm going to send this to you in an email, but 7 ounces of beef. So that'll be 33.6 grams of protein. I hope it was that. I wish that beef macros were that accurate. But that's what it says on paper, so that's what we're going to roll with, right? And then basically a half ounce of tallow. So your first meal is going to be 33 grams of protein, which is going to be enough to help you recover from your workout. Not enough to kick you out of ketosis, though. And then you're going to be getting in 57 grams of fat with that meal. So that'll be a good first meal. And then your dinner is a 12-ounce ribeye, which I know is going to be super, super raw. and then some more ground beef and some more tallow. And that'll give you a grand total of 135 protein, no carbs, and 140 fat.
Nice.
Sounds delicious.
And how are your satiety signals? Are those are you hungry at all, or feeling like you're lacking recovery? Think anything needs to change there?
I haven't even eaten yet today. I was gonna just eat all my meal at once, because me and I've been working out. I was like, as much as usual. I was thinking I'm just gonna wait because I'm not hungry. So I think just by getting stevia out of my life again, also, because it triggers any sweetness is going to trigger, I think, hunger in me, clearly. Because Mark, I don't think my blood sugar went up again because of the stevia.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I seen that, and you're making a good point there as well, Wendy, because I've noticed the same as you, but that when I have something sweet, even if it's like a soft drink or something, I find that the minute I'm finished, I need something else.
Yeah.
Me too.
I think
my hack around that is to have either a cold piece of meat or even just like a cup of bone broth or something. That usually zaps my appetite.
I might try that. I know that when I have something simple, as I said, like a drink or something, I know when I'm just like, okay, what else can I have?
Yeah.
I don't know what aspartame or whatever it is. It's just something in it that's just telling me, listen, it's not enough. You need to have more. And I could have that. After, say, a 12-ounce ribeye, and I'm completely stuffed, and I know I can't eat I'm completely full. But then if I wash it down with a soft drink, my mind changes. It's like, okay, no, you actually want more. Go on out and have something else.
Yep. Yeah,
So
there's something to it. Definitely. Any sweet taste it's just gonna put that craving out there again. And I've had pre-diabetes 2 times in the last 8 years. I don't want it back.
No, 100%.
Yeah, absolutely. Why do you, so what we've talked about this, but why do you like your steak so raw and your beef so raw?
Well, I like the flavor better. I like the texture. I like the color, but I think the most important thing is it's easier to digest because you're not having all those super hot fats. I mean, it's just the fats stay contained. They're still kind of cold in a sense. And I just feel like my tummy likes it better. So
I feel the exact same way. Yeah, you should have seen it when she flew over here, bro. It was her, me, and Taylor, and Taylor's likes hers kind of like I would say medium rare. I'm as rare as it can possibly be. At the restaurant at Carly's after party, actually, too. Wendy and I both looked at the waiter and we were like, we want our meat so raw. I mean, like, you can cook one side of it. Don't even worry about cooking the other side. And if we have to sign something like that's okay. You know, just bring it up raw. And what did they give us? Overcooked patties covered in barbecue sauce with a side of French fries.
it was awful.
Yeah.
But I was hungry by then because I just had a little bit of keto brick to get me over through the day, and then I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so hungry. But
yeah. and then Carly's knocking out like, what does she have? A pizza, 2 cookies the size of pizzas covered in ice cream and everything, and we're just like, wow, I wish we had something to eat.
And mozzarella sticks, and yeah, they were having a good old feast over there.
Yeah, that place was great for them. That was a joke for us though.
Yeah, we won't do that again. We're not going there after you compete, Mark. We'll go someplace better.
Yeah. When you compete, bro, we're gonna go to Novio's. It's an all-you-can-eat Brazilian steakhouse.
Nice.
Yeah, the best steakhouse in the Pacific Northwest. I will be on record saying that.
Yeah, awesome.
That's good.
How do you prep your ground beef, Wendy?
I have the brand Lodge pans. It's a steel carbon, like a carbon steel pan. So I just kind of heat that up a little bit, take my hamburger, make my 2 patties, and just put them in there so they sear really good. Flip it, take it out, eat it. Oh, of course, gotta have salt. Don't forget the salt. Salt's the most important. That's what I've been doing with my steaks now. Put some of this really good kosher salt on it.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, rub it in.
I sent you some of that too, pal. So I hope you're listening up.
Yeah. I've got my arsenal of salts here. So, and then when it's done, of course, I put some of the Celtic sea salt, Makai salt on it. I love this flavor. I'm finding myself just grinding it and throwing it in my mouth now.
Okay, so between the Makai and the kosher, which one do you think has better taste?
I like the Makai because I feel like, I mean, the kosher is kind of strong, I think, but that's why it's so good to do it as a rub. So I do it as a rub, and then I cook my steak and my hamburger, and then I think it mellows it out.
Right.
I don't know. What do you think?
You know what? I'm kind of kicking and please don't lose any respect for me for saying this, but I have to say I like the kosher better, not just because it's cheaper, but I really do like the flavor a lot, and that's kind of what I'm hearing from other people too. So it's a quarter of the price, and it has a little bit higher of a moisture content too. That's the other thing that's nice, because with me having low teeth enamel, those bigger chunks, you can use it as a finishing salt and not really worry about that. But with the higher moisture content too, it's nice because I don't know, I feel like it helps the meat like not dry out as much, especially if we're using the smoker.
Yeah, and that's what I've been doing before I cook my meat too. So yeah, and of course the hamburger, like I said, it's raw again for the fat, because like when you were cooking your hamburger and crumbles, all the tallow would come out. I remember I was like, well, if you just don't cook it as much, then all that tallow stays within the hamburger and you're eating it. Right. So back to easier to digest.
I've been doing it that way because you told me that too. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I've always been one to overcook ground beef, thinking that the more you cook it, the more you're cooking nutrients out. But hey, and on this show, we are not doctors, we're bodybuilders, we're coaches. But I mean, But my body for sure responds better to undercooked meat than overcooked. If it's cooked like taco meat, it feels like I can feel it in my stomach for hours,
Yeah.
But I'll go to bed and knock out I'll knock out 3 pounds of beef that has most of the fat still in it. Wake up feeling great the next morning.
Yeah. And Mark probably is the same way, right?
Yeah, it's just when you overcook it, like you said, when it just takes longer to digest. That's all it is. It just you're good for ages.
Yeah. And
So I'm like you. I like to have it like semi-raw, like kind of medium rare. It's nice. It's nice to chew. It's like when you chew it, it goes down very, very easy. I don't want to be chewing my food for like chewing gum for ages. Like it's horrible feeling. Like you're chewing a lump of steak and you have to keep chewing it and chewing it and chewing it to get to swallow it. Whereas when you have steak that's kind of like semi-cooked, it's just easier to digest. It's easier to like bite it down and swallow it, and it feels really, really good then.
Yeah. We're so smart.
I'm not a Darwinist by any means, of course, but just like evolutionary speaking, and thinking about like how people survive famines and stuff. It's just it just kind of makes common sense too. I mean, we probably didn't adapt as a species overcooking our meat, right? Like you kill the cow, or you kill the mammoth or something. You got to eat it before everybody else eats it. Like nobody's sitting around and purposely overcooking anything. And I feel like if it's already been frozen, which ground beef typically is, that should kill most of the nutrients in it, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. I think we got time for. Oh, I was gonna ask. What do you typically look for in sourcing quality beef, Wendy?
That's a great question. I try to keep it local, so I do have a local guy that I get my hamburger from. Best hamburger. It's just loaded with chunks of tallow. It's so great because he just grinds up everything. Grass-fed and grass-finished. Very important to me. I just don't feel as good if I eat a lot of the grain. Now, not to scare other carnivores. I mean, if that's all a person can afford, then hey, it's better. It's still better than eating cookies and cakes to eat the grain-fed beef. But so I get that from him, and then I order my steaks from another company. It's not local, but so I'm working with my local guy on that to see if I can get more steaks from him, and also tallow. But yeah, definitely grass-fed and grass-finished. I don't know about you guys, but I'm used to the flavor, and have finally found ones that I like the best. I've tried Butcher Box. I decided I don't like their meat. It's tough. It has a weird taste to it. Sorry, Butcher Box.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I agree.
Yeah. Eesh. So I finally canceled my subscription with them. But Agridime is a great company. Give a shout out to them. Agridime. I learned that from Dr. Sabrina Salt, SOLT. Zach and Sabrina Salt. Yeah, so that's how I got into the Agridime. So yeah, gotta have it. My freezer is stocked at all times. I have a monthly, I think I told this to Colt, I have a monthly subscription to my steak. Every once a month I get an order of steaks.
Yeah, how many ribeyes do you get every month?
I was getting 35. Because I can't run out just in case till the next box comes.
How much does that cost you, Andy?
Actually, there's like a 15% discount if you order a subscription box every month. So the 12 ounce, I think, come to like $12 for one. I don't think that's bad at all.
That's actually quite cheap. Over here, it's very, very expensive.
Yeah.
For 12 ounces, you're probably looking at about €25.
Okay. Yeah.
Very, 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 very expensive.
Well, I'm spoiled now because it's only me. I don't have kids to feed anymore. I don't have a significant other. I don't have pets. So it's all about me.
If I was single, I'd be eating ribeyes all day, every day too.
And you know the way you said chicken thighs, Colt, are very cheap over in your country.
Yeah.
They're not over. They're about €7 per, probably about 500 gram, which is not a lot. It's very, very expensive over here. Like over in our country, to eat clean and eat good, you have to pay a fortune, and then to eat shit, it's very, very cheap.
Yeah, I'm laughing because right before this conversation, I was editing Carnivore Coach's Corner and listening to you talk on that exact subject. And you and Jonathan both about just how the supermarkets over there compared to over here. I mean, Wendy and I can go into any store over here and there's an entire aisle dedicated to keto, and there's an entire aisle dedicated to like any kind of health disposition. And you got nothing.
No. And we're so far behind. We're so far behind. It's going to take us about 10 years to catch up with you guys, 100%.
Yeah, but yet you're all healthier than we are, though. We have a higher obesity rate. We have a lot lower.
I don't think we're far behind you, though. I don't think we're far behind you. I only put this up on my story there yesterday. I see so many kids walking around that are obese. I'm talking like 4-year-olds, 5-year-olds, 6-year-olds. They're obese straight away. And you can see it, and you can see exactly where it's coming from. It's coming from the parents. If the parents are like that, kids are going to be like that. And the amount of times that I go shopping, I see so many trolleys that are full with processed foods, full. And it's just like, you look at it and you're like, my God, it's just, we're so backwards in this country. We're listening to the wrong people. We're focusing too much on the food pyramid. There's just no change. When you look at the food pyramid, it hasn't changed in the last 50 years. We still talk about the same shit every week. Like when you do a diet course over here or a nutrition course, you're taught the same thing that was taught like 50 years ago. Nothing has changed. Evolution has not changed. Whereas when you look at the keto and the carnivore world, things have changed. You have, like, people are doing keto with fruit. People are doing like full carnivore. Some people are doing like keto with honey. There's so many different factors when it comes to keto. You know, I mean, there's so many. When you look at the bars, they're bringing out so many bars, processed food, and they're thinking that just because the name keto's on it, it's going to do wonders for you. You know what I mean? So it's a big market at the moment.
Yep, moneymaker. We should come up with something.
We should.
No, I couldn't do that. I would feel bad selling that stuff to people when I know it's not good for them. You know, there's so many things. The vegetable seed oils. I mean, even nuts, grains, sugar, all of it. Even veggies. I don't know. I listen to too many things about that. About how, you know, there's just a lot of things we can do to change it and not follow the sad diet.
Yeah,
it's not.
And I think that's it. I think that's very important, Wendy, because I'm working with someone at the moment, and she's in the fitness industry at the moment. She's been a fitness trainer for all her life, but she's constantly focusing on weight, always. And if I showed you a picture of this woman, she looks incredible, absolutely incredible. But because of all the rubbish that she's watched over Instagram and YouTube, she thinks she needs to do more when actually she needs to do less. And I think that's very, very important because, like I said, when you look at her, she looks very, very thin. All she needs to do now is just build more muscle and increase her food, and metabolism will speed up and everything else will improve her life. But she wants to do the opposite. She just wants to keep dropping weight and keep dropping weight and keep dropping weight. And then eventually the metabolism will slow down and you won't feel good. Your appetite will actually decrease as well. So it's amazing how people are transfixed into so much rubbish when it comes to getting in shape. And people think that by reducing food, do more volume, do more cardio. If it has the name keto on it, I'm going to take it. Even though it has sugar in it, or even though it has a little carbohydrate in it, I'm going to take it. I can do like 50 grams of carbohydrates on my keto because this doctor has told me I can do this, or this person has told me I can do this. So you can have 50 grams of carbohydrates on your keto diet. You know what I mean? There's so many different ways when it comes to the keto and carnivore. But when you dial into it and you really focus on what actually works and what actually doesn't work, when you put sugar into your body, that's going to have an effect on you big time.
100%. Guys, I hate to cut this short. Wendy's got to get to work. We got to go. You got to go to bed, pal. Hey, I know you got to go past the Guinness aisle though, right, to get to the keto aisle at your supermarket. Okay, I'm gonna wrap up with a joke if that's all right. I already told Wendy this joke, but I don't think I've told Mark yet. And so Mark, I was gonna tell you, how many Irishmen does it take to screw in a light bulb? It takes 3. It takes 1 to hold the light bulb and 2 to drink until the room spins.
Awesome.
There you go. Very
I love
good.
you so much. We'll pick this up in a month and do another one, all right?
And then I'll be this thing will be back in order again.
Yeah, we'll all have some bigger gains, except for Mark, who's gonna be shredded.
Yeah. Thank you so
I'm
much.
coming.
That's right. All right. See you guys later. Catch you next time.
Have a good
Bye,
night.
bye.
Bye.
Bye. Hey, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us for this entire episode. If you found this helpful or entertaining, as always, please shoot this over to your friend. Thank you so much. God bless you. Catch you on the next episode. Oh, by the way, if you would like to support the show, I would very much welcome the opportunity to earn your business. That salt that we were talking about earlier, Gourmet Kosher salt. This one is sourced from Guatemala, and it has a whopping 20 milligrams of magnesium per 1.5 grams. And 420 milligrams of sodium. So a bit less of a sodium content because of the other minerals that are naturally in the salt. There is no added magnesium or anything else added into it. 100% natural. And this is how I'm getting all my magnesium at the moment. $7 a bag. Lasts you a long time. It's got twice as much magnesium as the Makai Pure salt does. And it's about 25% of the price. So if you're looking to get the most bang for your buck, that's the one I would recommend. You can find everything at supersetyourlife.com. Thanks so much. Catch you on the next one.